Hey everyone, welcome to Sisters for Fi. In today's video, we are going to cover a very important question and a common question. Can you contribute to a 401k and an IRA at the same time? And the short answer to this question is yes. But as with all things, is a long answer, and really the long answer depends on a few things. We will cover that in this video. We will walk through a few situations and scenarios where it might make sense to contribute to one or both and figure out how to prioritize contributing to both of these accounts. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Catherine Agokjan. I'm a financial educator. And here at Sisters for Fi, we help you manage your money better so that you can live a life of impact today and tomorrow. So, what we want to do with this channel is to provide you money lessons so you can be a better steward of your money, so you have more of it to use, live, and share with others. If you like the kind of thing, please consider subscribing to Sisters for Fi. Now let's go back to our question. Can you contribute to a 401k and an IRA? And the answer will depend on a few factors. The big one is earned income. You do need earned income to be able to contribute to both a 401k and an IRA. I'll share what that means in a little bit. A big thing is access to a 401k plan. If you don't have access to one, you can't contribute to one. So you'll need to check if your employer offers one. Another factor is employer retirement contribution match. This is a big one, and this is one of the big factors which will affect whether you contribute to one, both, or prioritize contributing to these account types. Available funds. Now, many of us don't have a lot of funds to put into retirement, so we have to weigh that with what we have available and how much we can put into one or the other. And of course, total household income. So the more you make, the more you do get phased out of being able to contribute to some of these accounts. Meaning, if your total household income is high, you will not be able to take advantage of contributing to these account types, specifically the IRA, the Roth IRA type. So let's go to first scenario. So the first scenario is if you don't have earned income. So earned income is a big factor whether you can contribute to 401k, IRA, or both. Now, under the IRS rules, earned income consists of taxable wages, salaries, tips, or some other form of a paycheck, meaning you do need to receive either a W-2 or a 1099 to prove you have income to be able to contribute to an IRA. And 401ks are employer sponsored, so you would need to have a job that offers a 401k to contribute to it. Now, there's a few caveats to this. Unfortunately, VA disability payments, military or other private pensions, and Social Security are not considered income, so they won't count towards what you can contribute to your IRA. And neither does interest and dividends from unemployment, or benefits or child support. Now, there is a caveat to this. One is that if you are married and you are filing jointly, you can use your partner's income to contribute to an IRA. And this is called a spousal IRA. I will link a video here for you to learn more about it. This is a great avenue for someone who may be staying at home, stay at home mom, dad, parent, or caregiver who's currently not working, not earning income because they are caring for a loved one, but their partner and they're married, filing jointly, is earning income. You can use your partner's income to be able to contribute to an IRA. And if you don't have earned income, you could still invest into your health savings account if it's available, or a 529 ABLE account. I will also link a video to the 529 Able account, and these are for individuals with disabilities who want to save a little bit more for long term disability needs and care. And of course, you can continue to invest into a brokerage account. Unfortunately, the brokerage have very little tax advantages, but it is another option and way for you to invest and save for the future. All right, the next scenario is an income with access to 401k and a contribution match. Now, what I always recommend everyone to do is to read your employee handbook or benefits guide. Make sure you are maximizing what your benefits, what your employer benefits have. This includes looking to see if you have access to a 401k, what the vesting period is, and of course, what the contribution match is. The contribution match is what people call free money, but it's also part of your compensation. So when you contribute to your 401k, your employer may match that, which automatically doubles your money. That's your first priority. If you are, your second priority then is if you are within income limits, you can contribute and max out a Roth or a traditional IRA. We will cover the difference between a Roth and a traditional IRA a little bit later, but your next priority will be to max this out because these do have a little bit lower contribution limits, so it's easy to max those out. And next priority would be to invest in other tax advantage accounts like HSA, FSA, if your work provides it. And lastly, too, is to max out your 401k. Now, workers who are younger than age 50 can contribute a maximum of $20,500 to a 401k in 2022. Now, some of these numbers do change every year, so you'll have to check with the IRS website to get the latest contribution limits. But for 2022, you can max out your 401k to 20,500 plus whatever your employer is providing you as a match for contributing, plus your max for Roth or traditional IRA contribution, which is at $6,000. So you have a lot of option to save for retirement and really front load your investments ahead of time. The next scenario is income. So you have a job with access to a 401k, but you don't get a contribution match. And with this scenario, what you want to do instead is prioritize your Roth or traditional IRA contribution max. Because there's no contribution match, you're not getting that free money. You want to move towards the Roth or traditional IRA contribution. Once you max that out, look to see if there's other areas where you can invest or tax advantage, again, like HSA, FSA if available. Quick reminder that HSA is portable, so this can carry with you for the life of your HSA account. It's a triple advantaged account, triple taxed advantage account where you get a tax deduction today, you grow that money tax free, and you can withdraw it tax free as long as it's used for health expenses. And FSA is use it or lose it. You do get a tax deduction when you contribute to it, but you do lose it at the end of the year period. And then your other priority for this scenario is to contribute to a 401k for tax advantages, right? 401k provides you a tax advantage either today or tomorrow, so depending on what your employer offers. And you'll still have the option to max out your 401k too, again, putting your nest egg in charge of growing for your future. The next scenario is income with no access to 401k. And this means you have a job, but your employer doesn't offer 401k or any other retirement accounts. So your best option is to contribute to a Roth or traditional IRA and max it out to 6,000. Roth and traditional IRA are very flexible in what they can do for you. So, getting that started, maxing that out will provide you a lot of benefits down the line. Your next priority will be to invest in other tax advantage accounts like the HSA FSA that we spoke about a bit earlier. And your third option will be to invest in a brokerage account. Again, because you don't have access to a 401k for employer match or other tax advantage benefits, you still want to be saving and investing for the long term. So a brokerage account might be an option, and you'll have at least like the ability to grow your money there. A big question will be, which IRA will I open? There's two options. It's Roth versus traditional. And these are kind of similar in nature, but it really depends on what you think your income bracket will be in the future. Now, for the Roth IRA, you pay taxes now. So that means anything you put into the Roth IRA is money that's already been taxed. And all of that money, contributions, and earnings grow tax free. When you are ready to withdraw at the age of 59 and a half, those contributions and earnings are withdrawn tax free. The contributions, so this is just the money you put in, no earnings, can be withdrawn at any time, penalty and tax free, because you've already paid taxes on it. If you do an early withdrawal of earnings, this will result in penalties and taxes. But there are some exceptions. And these exceptions include first-time home buyers, some medical expenses, and some education expenses. Now, I find that the Roth IRA is a little bit more flexible in what you can do with withdrawing money for other needs. Now, the maximum yearly contribution for the Roth is for 2022 is $6,000. Again, this could change the next year, so you'll have to look it up in the IRS website to see what the 2023 max yearly contribution is. And then as you earn more money, your contribution do have limits. So if you're a single filer, you won't be able to contribute to a Roth if you make more than $144,000 in 2022. And if you are a married couple filing jointly, the limit for you is $214,000 in 2022. And there are also some phase out as for these groups too. And for the Roth IRA, there is no required minimum distributions, meaning if you reach a certain age, you don't have to take out the money. And what this means is that you can actually pass down your Roth IRA to your children, your grandchildren, so that they can get the benefit of your investment without having to incur a tax penalty. Your next option, or the other option for IRA, is a traditional IRA. And in this option, you pay taxes later. So what you do instead is your contributions reduce your taxes for this year. And your contributions and earnings grow tax deferred. Not tax free, but tax deferred, meaning you would have to pay taxes for that later on. Contributions and earnings will be taxed at withdrawal at retirement age as ordinary income. This is something to keep in mind, that when you withdraw from the traditional IRA, it is ordinary income. And based on the IRS tax table, ordinary income is one of the strictest tax table for income. So you want to just be aware that's the case. And any early withdrawal of earnings will result in penalties and taxes. Again, there are some exceptions, as we covered with the Roth. There's no income limits here. So no matter how much you make, you can always contribute to traditional IRA. And which may be also a reason why you would want to perhaps contribute to a Roth IRA when you're younger, when you're in the lower tax bracket and a lower income range. So you pay those taxes, smaller taxes today. And then when you start increasing your income and having more and be phased out of being able to contribute to a Roth IRA, you can move towards contributing to a traditional IRA. And then there is a required minimum distribution starting at the age of 72. So you have to start taking out money out of your traditional IRA when you turn 72. And one other thing to note is that deductions are reduced if you or your spouse have other retirement plans at work or you've reached income limits. So you need to plan this out a little bit better so that you can take advantage of all of these tax advantages of these accounts. Now, knowing these and understanding these, this can be a lot. So, what I would absolutely encourage you to do is to start small. Start with your 401k at work if there's a match. Start with your Roth IRA if you are younger. If you are not hitting those income limits yet and you don't have access to a retirement plan. And a big part to remember is that investing small amounts early helps you build that habit of consistency. And investing early means you also invest in your own knowledge. So even though you're investing $25 today, as you earn more money, as you grow your investing knowledge as well, that will compound to ensure that you both have the funds for the future, as well as the knowledge to determine which account works best for you and which account will serve you more today or tomorrow. So I hope this video has been helpful. If you found it so, please give it a like, and I will see you in the next video, which drops next week. And don't forget to subscribe to Sisters for Fi for more money lessons and financial content.